I just. Oh god, I'm doing it again. I just got done listening to the voiceover for this video, and I'm not recording it a fourth time, but I am aware that I say a fucking obnoxious amount during this video. I will definitely try to work on that for later videos, but I was kind of just scatterbrained during this entire script, so yeah, I apologize for that in advance. I'm probably going to put this at the beginning of the video because, yeah, I say an obnoxious amount. We'll definitely try to work on that. We'll definitely try to be less scatterbrained when I record the voiceover next time. But until then, take a shot every time you hear me say See if you survive at the end. Uh, why am I doing a voice warm-up for a stupid video? Okay, so, this is my third time trying to do this video. So, the Sonic Racing CrossWorlds had its closed network test. And as of filming this video, I played about 4 hours of it last night, and then about like 2 hours of it today. So roughly about 6 hours I have played this game. And what's my overall thoughts of the game right now? Meh. Like, I mean, it's not awful, but I don't think I could call it really that good either. In fact, I am quite concerned at this point now. Basically, to sum it up, if you were expecting a full-blown sequel to Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, don't get excited because this is not it. This is a very different game compared to All-Stars Racing Transformed, and honestly, I think this game is going to be worse than All-Stars Racing Transformed. In fact, I've been seeing online not a lot of Transformed purists absolutely hate this game, and I can understand why they hate it. Now, I just want to put a disclaimer right now. I'm not a kart racer guy. I'm not a fan of these kind of games anymore. I was when I was like 12 years old, but I'm not anymore. I already thought Transformed was a game that was kind of like middle of the road. Like, it was good, but not amazing. I'm more into like traditional racing games, so kart racers are not exactly my cup of tea. So, Sega announced CrossWorlds, and I did initially make a thoughts video about it, but it got content ID'd because I used a piece of music that apparently YouTube didn't like, so that's unfortunate. And instead of remaking that video, because I had deleted all the source footage, I decided to just wait until this network test happened and go from there. You had to sign up on their site to get into the closed network test, to get a chance, per se, but it seems like everyone who signed up for it got a code for it. I used 3 emails and I got a code for it. So, what makes the game so to me? There's a lot of things, but I want to talk about some of the stuff that I liked first. First off is, I do like the whole cross-world idea. You know, you go into the portal on the second lap and it takes you to a different track. No, it's kind of a neat addition. It breaks up the monotony of it just being a standard, boring kart racer game, so that's pretty cool. The car customization seems pretty good. I say seems pretty good because my friends have been using it a lot. I personally haven't used it at all because I really don't care about car customization in these kinds of games, but it seems like it's rather well done. I do like the color of the graphics. The only aspect of the graphics I like is the color. The colors really pop, especially on an HDR TV, which apparently, according to Steam, this game supports HDR, so I'm assuming it renders in HDR mode, and it looks great. That's all I really have to say about the graphics. That are nice, by the way. The game looks rather pretty, but outside of that, the character models, they're rather low quality. Like, they're not up to the quality that the mainline games are, but they look better than they did in, like, Transformed and stuff. My biggest problem is that image quality is really bad in this game. Like, obviously, I'm playing on a PS5 because it's the only platform that got the closed network test. I'm playing on I'm playing it hooked up to a 4K television, and this game looks really soft. So it is not rendering anywhere near 4K. Hell, it doesn't even look like it's rendering at 1440p either. It seems like it's rendering at like 1080p, and it's using Epic's standard temporal upsampler. It artifacts constantly, and yeah, it doesn't look pleasant. It does run an Unreal Engine, by the way, so we were correct on that. And yeah, it suffers from all of the Unreal Engine blemishes and optimization problems that the engine has seemingly suffered from this entire console generation. Though thankfully, it seems like the game does a pretty good job at holding 60 FPS, even when it looks like complete ass. Another plus is that the speed of the game is faster than Team Sonic Racing, so that's good, because Team Sonic Racing was extremely slow to the point that it was kind of boring. This is not slow, so that's good. I originally was going to say that the network is pretty stable, but after writing the script, I've had plenty more network errors outside that. So it concerns me for when this game comes out, considering that we are having constant network errors on a closed network test that is only released on one of the 7 platforms that this game is coming out on, so that is a bit of a problem. They have recycled tracks like Ocean View, but they should completely change the track layout, which is pretty good. So they're not just recycling tracks. And the character roster seems better. Obviously, I got to play as Cream the Rabbit, which I was happy with, but it seems like all the main cast is covered for, as we've seen from plenty of images throughout. But I guess I can talk about what I don't like about the game. So, before I get into that, I've been browsing the Steam forums, which seems to be the only place with, like, logical fucking... What is going on with my computer? This seems to be the only place with any kind of logical fucking brains. Because on the Steam forums for this game, there is a lot of worry about how heavy this game is going to be when it comes to microtransactions. Because at the end of every single race, you earn these tickets that you can use to spend on car parts and stuff. You do not earn a lot of these tickets per race. You earn about 10, 20 of them. And a single decal for your car costs 200 of these tickets. So you have to grind out these tickets, which makes people believe, myself included, that they are going to charge real-life money in exchange for these tickets. That and the entire game's UI looks very mobile-esque. Like, it looks like Chocobo GP mobile-esque UI. So it really seems like that this game is going to be a live service title, which is not a good thing, but we can't exactly say that yet. We don't know. This was just a closed test, but I have a feeling that this is going to be their live service, especially since Sega has been hard at work trying to reboot all of their properties into live service games, like we know about the Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi leaks, how we know that those games are going to be live service games, and it seems like that this is going to be the same case, which is very unfortunate, but it just seems like that is what Sega is interested in doing to the company these days. especially since they are also delisting all of their old games and locking them behind a supposed subscription service that is apparently coming. It's not looking good for Sega right now. That's probably my biggest concern with this game, is that it's going to be a live service game full of battle passes and FOMO content. But that alone would be enough of a reason for me not to even bother purchasing this game. But thankfully, unfortunately for Sega, even if it wasn't going to be that, there's plenty of other reasons why I don't think I'm going to buy this game anymore. The biggest thing is the controls in this game. I do not think they are good at all. Even if you switch over to the Team Sonic Racing controls, which let you accelerate with the triggers, which are still digital buttons, by the way, but the triggers nonetheless, because the game automatically defaults to X being the drive button, which is just fucking asinine in the year 2025. But the controls themselves, they are extremely stiff, and they are incredibly on rails as well. I have no idea who is actually making this game. It just says Sonic Team on the opening logos, so I'm assuming it's them. But Sega also said that it's made from an elite racing team at Sega, and I just have to say that if this is your elite racing team, then you need to get rid of them because they suck. To sum it up, this game controls like complete ass. The handling model is completely fucking whack. I think it's worse than Need for Speed 2015, and that is saying something. Another thing is that the game is just way too hectic. It is a very item-heavy based game, so skill doesn't exactly matter in this game at all because it's not a skill-based racing game. This is a luck-based racing game. It depends on if you get good items during your race or not. Most of the time you don't, by the way. But, there's so much offensive items that you can use to attack enemies, but there's very little items to use to actually defend yourself. And half of the time it seems like the defensive items don't even work to begin with, so that's another problem I noticed with it, is like you'll use like this shield power-up or this tornado power-up, and you still get hit by items. So it doesn't seem... The balancing on the items seem to be like really bad. The trick system is also not that good either. Half the time the tricks don't even work to begin with, but when they do work, you can't fail them if you land mid-trick anymore. Like, it just acts like you landed it correctly, so every time you go in the air, just wiggle the stick and you'll get some free boosters. And yeah, this whole thing about the gameplay with the item balancing being shit, the controls being shit and stuff, it's not like I'm bad at this game. Like, I won 6 races in a fucking row, so if you're gonna sit there and say skill issue, then I promptly ask you to shut the fuck up, because I won 6 races in a row, go fuck yourself. This game is just really poorly balanced in my opinion. And I guess probably the last thing that I didn't really like about this game is the soundtrack. This is just not good at all, especially compared to like Team Sonic Racing. Like, the music in this game, not only is it poorly mixed to where you can barely hear it to begin with, but it's just so fucking obnoxious. Like, the menu music is like the worst I've heard in pretty much any racing game. And I've played Need for Speed Unbound, which has like the worst soundtrack ever. I thought that game had the worst soundtrack, but no, I think this one takes the cake. Because at least with Need for Speed Unbound, there was one song in the game that I liked. This has no songs that I like, so it's a big problem. So I quickly found myself beating this game and turning on my own mixtape instead, full of my own music. Then I started playing Chronic Future time and time again from the Burnout 3 soundtrack, which made me wish I was playing Burnout 3 instead, because that game is a way better game than this. All I have to ask Sega is, what are you guys doing? I don't like how silent they're being on whether or not this game is going to be a trashy live service or not. the fact that they are not outright saying that it is going to be one makes me think that it is going to be one, because they know it is going to make people angry when they reveal that this game is going to be a live service game full of microtransactions and battle pass content, because we don't know how much this game is going to cost. I hope it's not $60, because it's like, really? $60 for this shit? Are you kidding me? But, it's too early to judge. This is just a beta. It doesn't feel like a beta at all. It feels more like an alpha. Apparently there's going to be future network tests, which is pretty cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I had fun playing this game, but did I have $60 amount of fun playing this game? The answer would be fuck no. I did not. This game is not going to be worth $60. So, this is just really a first impressions. I only played 6 hours, so it's not like I played a lot of it, but, I'm not impressed. What am I trying to say? Basically, I'm just trying to say that I'm not impressed and I did not like what I played. So I don't think I'm going to continue playing the beta because, it will be closed by the time I get off my work shift after recording this script, so, it doesn't really matter at this point. I played enough of the beta as I could to decide that I am probably not going to buy Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. At least I'm not going to be there lining up for day one. I will sit here and wait months after release to see what other people think of the game. To see if they release the game and then pull a CTR and add microtransactions and battle passes to it after launch, like some other games like Need for Speed Unbound and CTR did. So, I will just be waiting. I don't know, I don't know really what to say, but not exactly impressed with what I played so far. And I am glad that Sega is gonna have a survey for us to give them feedback, because, they definitely need it for this game. They really, really need the feedback. And I guess that's going to be it for this video. That's really all I have to say. So basically, to sum it up, it's a mixed bag. It's just a mixed bag. This definitely curbed my excitement for the game. That's really all I have to say. Yeah. Goodbye. Next video, I'm hoping I have a couple ideas lined up in the pipeline, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a little bit more positive than this one, because I'm honestly tired of this whole news coverage shit. I'm done with it. So next video, hopefully it's just a more traditional video, but I guess we'll just see from then. But otherwise, goodbye.